Welcome to the Magoosh IELTS podcast. This is Lesson 10. In this episode, you're going to hear dialogue containing the vocabulary words that your teacher Eliot defined in Vocabulary Lesson 5. These are 4 words all related to travel: accommodation, transport, attractions, and high-rise. If you haven't listened to episode 5 yet, you might want to listen to that first so that you know the definitions of these words. I'll put a link in the show notes. Also, check out the show notes to get your free download, the IELTS vocabulary list, which contains these words and others that you'll find on the test. Plus, visit us at IELTS.magoosh.com for more great resources to improve your IELTS band score. Okay, let's get started. Listen to this dialogue between Miriam and Torres as they talk about their past travels. See if you can pick out the 4 IELTS vocabulary words as you listen.
Hello, I don't think we've met. I'm Miriam, the new subletter. I'll be staying in Carola's room this month while she's away.
Hi Miriam, I'm Torres. My room is the one down the hall, right before the stairs.
Nice to meet you, Torres. So, how did you end up living here?
I am also from Argentina, like Carola. We both grew up in the same high-rise in Buenos Aires, but she moved here many years ago with her family, and I arrived just 6 months ago.
Did you come here to work or just to visit the attractions?
I came to study English. I'm on a student visa, but I was a carpenter back in Argentina, so I also work doing construction as often as I can.
Ah, I see.
And yourself? How long have you been here in Manchester?
I just arrived in the UK a few weeks ago. I was staying in a hostel here in the city, but I wanted to find some accommodations with a little more privacy. I saw Carola's advertisement and now I'm here. But I think I will leave England after Carola comes back.
I see. And what brought you to England?
I'm just travelling. I'm from Australia originally, but I've been on the road for about 9 months now. I've travelled all over the world. After England, I plan to go to Borneo, but I need to save up a little money first. The exchange rate is good in Asia for someone like me who has Australian dollars, but flights are still very expensive. So here in England, I'm hoping to find some work. But I would also like to have some fun and see the attractions, of course.
What kind of job are you looking for?
In Australia, I was a social worker, but I'm here on a working holiday visa, which means I can only do casual work. During my travels, I have been mostly working on farms, but I don't think it's very likely that I'll be able to find that sort of work here in the city. So maybe I will bartend or nanny or work as a receptionist or cleaner in one of the high-rises around here.
Carola is a cook at a restaurant nearby. Maybe we could call her and see if they are hiring anyone currently.
That would be great. I have some experience as a line cook as well. Where is the restaurant?
It is about 10 minutes away from here by car.
Okay, cool. How is the public transport in Manchester? I haven't taken the bus or anything yet. Is there a subway system here?
Manchester doesn't have a subway system, but there are a couple other ways to get around. We have a light rail called the Metrolink, which runs very frequently. The trams come around about every 5 or 10 minutes, so that is a good way to get around if you are near a station. And then there are the buses, which are run by the branch of the local government that is responsible for transport. Most of the buses just go around the city, but there are also night buses that you can catch down to London or up to the border, that sort of thing.
Do you know about how much a bus pass costs?
I believe it is £50 a month.
Okay, so about $60. That's still not so bad. I was considering getting a bicycle, but I think public transport is a better choice right now since it's winter and riding the bike could get quite cold.
Yes, I also have a car, so it is possible that we could carpool if you're working nearby.
Oh, that would be great. And please let me know if you're ever going to any parties or shows or to see any attractions. I'd like to take advantage of the time I have here, but I still really don't know anyone, and it can be hard to find out about events and get around without a car.
Yeah, definitely. We're often having friends over here to barbecue as well, so if you hang around the house, you will definitely meet everyone this weekend.
Cool, I'll do that. I made some friends at the hostel, but most of them are still staying in accommodations on the other side of town, and I'd like to meet some people a little closer to home.
Before we hear the rest of Torres and Miriam's conversation, let's pause for a word from Magoosh.
Thanks, Naomi. Do you want a great IELTS score? Well, guess what? Magoosh can help. Here's how. We have in-depth video lessons that cover IELTS concepts, pitfalls, and shortcuts, over 200 practice questions to help you prepare, 24/7 email access to a team of smart and fun remote tutors ready to answer your questions. So, are you ready to improve your score and get into your dream program? Great! We're ready to help. Visit us at IELTS.magoosh.com. That is IELTS.magoosh.com. Use coupon code IELTS Podcast, that's one word, no spaces, to save 20% off your IELTS test prep. That's it. All right, now back to the story.
So, you were studying English. Does that mean English literature or English as a second language?
English as a second language.
That makes sense. How long have you been learning English for?
I didn't speak any English before I came here.
Wow, that's incredible. Your English is already very good.
I think being in a country where everyone is speaking in English forces you to learn much faster. I'm still not very good, though. A lot of the time, it's difficult for me to keep up with conversations, especially if people are speaking quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But everyone else who lives in this house speaks Spanish, right? Did you all know each other in Argentina?
Yes. Our two other flatmates are Mauricio and Camila. They also lived in the high-rise back in Buenos Aires. We went to school together as children.
It must be nice to live with people you can speak your native language with, especially people you've known for a long time. I'm very lucky that there are so many places around the world where people speak English. I'm actually bilingual. I studied German in school for many years. But even though I'm more or less fluent, there were so many things that are still very difficult for me to communicate in German. Speaking in English is definitely more comfortable for me.
Yes, it's nice to have a break from English sometimes. But everyone who lives here is bilingual as well, so we try to all practice our English together sometimes, especially when there is someone around like you who doesn't speak any Spanish.
Yeah, I definitely don't know any Spanish. There aren't a lot of Spanish speakers in Australia. So you are happy living here?
Yes, definitely. I do miss Argentina, but we do go back from time to time. And it's important that I learn English, so I'm glad that I'm here. The cost of living is more expensive here than in Buenos Aires, but our living accommodations are good, and I have many friends.
Well, I'm definitely glad to be out of the hostel. Not that I have anything against hostels, but when you're travelling for many months, it's very nice to have your own space and a quiet place to sleep. In the hostels, there are always people coming and going at all hours of the night, and even if everyone is asleep, there's almost always someone who snores very loudly.
Yes, I believe the cost of rent at this house is not much higher than staying at the hostel, so it is a very good deal, and we are in quite a good location, very close to a grocery store and many bars and restaurants, as well as several bus stops.
I'm actually quite hungry. Is there anywhere you would recommend that I go for dinner?
There's an Indian restaurant 2 blocks away from here called Bombay House. I think that will be my favorite.
Oh, I love Indian food. I think I'll go there. Would you like to come with me?
Yeah, that would be great. I think Camila and Mauricio will be home from work in 10 or 15 minutes. Should I call them? And perhaps they could meet us there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you. I think this will be a good month.
Me too. I'm very glad that Carola found someone so nice to stay in her room.
So, what did you think? If you need more practice, check out the description below with links to the resources we mentioned. Happy studying!